Hi, I'm David Miller and I'm president of the Denver Foundation. We're a community foundation that's been serving Metro Denver for 85 years. We give grants to nonprofits, we help donors with their charitable giving, and we work to address community issues like hunger, inclusiveness, and improving neighborhoods. The beauty of a community foundation is that we were here 85 years ago and will be here 85 years from now. We're the place where generosity meets community. The Denver Foundation is a place where people live out their dreams of helping the community. Since our founding, we've been inspired by our generous donors, our creative grantees, and our outstanding community partners. So, as we celebrate our 85th birthday, we wanted to ask you, who or what has inspired you to get involved with the community?
My parents instilled in me at an early age the importance of community involvement, because our community not only allows us to survive but to thrive.
Just the joy of knowing so many different kinds of people was part of what I think went almost into my DNA.
I grew up in a family of service. In my family, if you could walk, you could contribute.
My mother was such a wonderful person in giving back and showing compassion, and she instilled that in me as a young boy, and I try to pattern my life after her dedication to service in the community.
My inspiration for being involved in the community definitely comes from my parents.
I have been so fortunate that I've always wanted to get involved in the community and do what I guess everybody wants to do in that situation, that is pay back.
I was able to see many people getting very interested and dedicated and passionate about their volunteer work. And I finally discovered the reason of their passion is that they wanted something done and they realized that they could do something about it.
My parents, who really just instilled in all their children that giving back is an important part of what you do.
It's nothing that I made a conscious effort to do. It's something that I thought was natural. And now I see that it is natural to give and to be involved and to share and to be a part of community.
Every time someone needed a hand, my grandparents were there to help them.
I first got involved in nonprofit work in the early 80s through the Colorado AIDS Project, when the organization was just beginning.
Community involvement probably comes from my background as a city planner. As a planner, I've been involved in all aspects of cities.
You know, my mother, who grew up in the Depression, was very frugal. As tight as times were around our household, she always found time and often a little bit of money to give back to the community. So she was a model for all of us in our family.
It was a spark in my heart, and you know, something that was always there.
My personal disability has gotten me involved in the community. My personal story and challenges has allowed me to speak for others and help the disabled community.
I remember a man once who helped me when my car was in trouble when I lived back in Michigan. And he stopped and helped me, and he was so thoughtful, and I wanted to pay him for that kindness. And he said, no, just pass it on.
With all of this inspiration, we know that you're willing to do just about anything to help community causes. Sometimes those actions are straightforward, like serving in a food bank or volunteering at a school. At other times, we know your passion for community leads to something even more. So we asked you, what is the craziest thing you have done for a community cause?
I think with philanthropy, it needs to be fun. You need to do something that you know you would have fun doing.
I'd have to say the craziest thing I ever have done for a community cause would have to be the Community Shares of Colorado Paycheck the Bear suit. And I got to wear it one year for National Philanthropy Day in Colorado at the state capitol. And in an ill-conceived effort to entertain some kids, I tried to do a pratfall and ended up falling down the steps of the Capitol, including the bear head falling off and rolling down the entire steps of the Capitol, as well as the entire group of fourth graders there for National Philanthropy Day pointed in horror.
I gotta say, the craziest thing I've done for a community is probably starting Prodigal Son Initiative.
I've never done anything extremely crazy for the community other than starting a nonprofit, which is pretty crazy in itself.
I think the craziest thing I've ever done for a community cause is be auctioned off as a date, simply because I don't like blind dates.
2 blocks from here, back in the early 90s, I said yes. And it was 5 gang leaders, 3 of them armed, that asked me if I was willing to risk my life for them. And I said yes.
Conducting a live television interview talking about the well-being of kids in Colorado while holding a lightsaber.
I dressed up as a woman once, and I blame Walter and Christy Eisenberg, who are probably in the audience, for the Concerts for Kids, celebrity waiters dinner where I had to dress up in a tutu.
Now we know you're passionate enough to do just about anything for the community, and that's a good thing because our community needs that passion. The Denver Foundation will be here for decades into the future to make sure you have the help you need to translate your action into a better community for everyone. It wasn't surprising that the most inspiring answers came when we asked our friends and family, kids, volunteers, and community leaders. 85 years from now, where do you want our community to be?
I think 85 years from now, I'd like to see a community that lives up to the greatness we can be here in the Denver metro area.
The change that is so needed is for us to take on some of these complex social issues and realize that they are solvable if we continue to come together and work together as a community to solve them.
I would like to see nobody going to bed hungry. I would like to see the public policies in place and the programs in place to ensure that there's a place at the table for everybody.
Make bigger houses and make more roads, make more water, and make more buildings.
What I see Denver as is a peaceful and good environmental place where we can have more physical activities and people to get more involved in our community.
I want my children, kids, to be able to see this world and our city and our community as a beautiful place and to live in it and be happy.
Bigger hearts.
I would love it for healthcare to be available to everyone.
Well, in 85 years, I would definitely like to see flying cars. I'd probably also like to see Denver being a place where artists and musicians are flocking to, and everybody wants to live here because it's a great place to be an artist, and we have great universal health care for our arts community.
I wish people could get along better.
I think that we will always have to have face-to-face relationships, so the relationship will still be critically important.
85 years from now, I would like to see a functioning education system.
The educational reform, we need to make sure that our children are receiving a top-notch education and that they're prepared to go on to college.
It would be a great thing if in 85 years we had something that was a sustainable source of funding for higher education.
Well, it's my passion, and that's education, and I think we really have to pay attention to how we're going to educate everyone.
A community where every child is loved, nurtured, celebrated, educated, and there is no question that every child is going to reach their full potential.
My hope would be that all of our children receive the education that they deserve.
In 85 years, that's an easy answer for me. It's having people write songs and sing songs that blow away the 60s. Because those songs are going to be about the children, our children, right now, who we empowered to change the world. And they did.
The change I think I would like to see in 85 years is that people come to Denver and know of the people in Denver, not only for our beautiful mountains and our scenery, but they know Denver because of the generosity of our people.
Your visions for the future echo what we heard in our recent listening campaign. You have a broad range of interests and across all sectors of the community. You believe in building a stronger future for our children through education. This belief is rooted in a mission we all share, that 85 years from now, our children will be growing old in a world that has allowed them to thrive and to achieve their dreams. And every step of the way, the Denver Foundation will be pleased to work with you, our generous donors and creative leaders who are making our community a wonderful place for all.